California is the first state in the country to set new safety regulations for major artificial intelligence companies.
Governor Gavin Newsom signing that new law today. KCRA 3 political director Ashley Zavala joining us right now with when it will go into effect and what we can expect from this new law.
In Golston, California is taking action as leaders at the federal level from both parties have yet to regulate this rapidly evolving technology. The governor today signed Senate Bill 53, which tries to prevent people from using powerful artificial intelligence models from causing a financial or societal catastrophe. Starting in January, the largest artificial intelligence companies need to publicly disclose the safety and security protocols, and they'll need to report critical safety incidents. The new law also strengthens whistleblower protections for those who try to speak out about any potential harms. The companies will need to provide the protocols and report those incidents to the California Office of Emergency Services, which will then provide the information to the public on its website. In a statement, Governor Gavin Newsom said, in part, California has proven that we can establish regulations to protect our communities while also ensuring that the growing AI industry continues to thrive. I caught up with Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener, who wrote the new law.
It's really exciting what AI can do for humanity. It has the potential to cure diseases, to solve societal problems that we previously thought were unsolvable. It's really compelling. But any powerful technology also brings risk. And so the goal is, let's understand the risk and let's try to reduce the risk. You're never going to eliminate risk. Life is about risk, but let's at least try to reduce it. We have a history in this country of not getting ahead of technology risk. There's no federal data privacy law. There's no federal social media law. And we see some of the problems that has caused. So we want to try to get ahead of this.
Opponents of this include the California Chamber of Commerce, Computer and Communications Industry, and TechNet. Those groups lobby on behalf of tech companies at the state capitol. The groups have been concerned that California is too focused on the size of the companies and not the risk of the models themselves. They also have concerns around the protection of trade secrets as well as changing whistleblower laws for one single industry. Now, I did reach out to the California Chamber of Commerce for comment, but a spokesman there said he had nothing to add to their original statement in opposition from earlier this month.
So, Ash, as you know, this summer President Trump said he wanted to eliminate the regulations on those AI companies because he wants to try and make the U.S. a leader in AI. So could that affect this law?
Yeah, that's really the big question now at this point. Is AI regulation the next fight between the federal government and California? Senator Wiener noted the president is surrounded by major tech executives who do not want this kind of regulation. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz has introduced the Sandbox Act in Congress, which attempts to simplify AI regulations nationwide as opposed to having different states with different laws. But California, as we know, house the major AI companies. So California coming up with this law, and with some of them being on board, is at least a step that could influence nationwide policy. But I mean, the Trump administration and California are not on the same page, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ashley.